Okie dokes, Nightmare Zone survivors going into episode 126. Wow, I think I have a shout out too. Let me think. Alright, let me open it up. Yep, we got a shout out to Chase Miller and also to his dog, Karina. So there you go. Shout out to Chase Miller and Karina. So what are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to work on getting the final barrow style so that we can see how effective it works without any interference from the BFGs. I'm also letting the map simmer a bit in preparation, basically, for episode 100. I do want episode 100 to occur on my favorite map. And what I want to talk about today is probably State of Decay 1 versus State of Decay 2, and which ideas from both of the games are worth keeping and going forward on, and what ideas, we should be expanding upon. And some of you may think, oh, well, that doesn't sound very fair. You're just going to say you like State of Decay 1 better. But that's not necessarily true. There are things about State of Decay 2 that I definitely prefer over State of Decay 1. Oh, it's pretty nice. Give me a little plague sample right off the bat. Go ahead and put that away. I know this guy needs to continue leveling up. He needs to run and he needs to loot. Let's, I don't remember what I was doing last in my base, so that doesn't need anything, nothing. Oh, wait, maybe this needs something. Nope, so we can uninstall this. I can put whatever I want in there. CNC mill, why not? In channel news, this needs one more level. We also need to call in the food majigging thing so that we can get another composting bin. So channel news, I did record the voiceover for the next video, which is going to be the top 6 mods in State of Decay 2. Oh, we can put this in as well. It's raw. All of it is unedited, nothing special done to it, so we still have some ways to go. But the important part is that that part's done, so I'm probably going to mess around with the video. I am also trying to further my understanding of audio filters. So, you don't need to know the specifics, but basically, if you can't hear something very well in one of the episodes, like if you think something's too loud or too quiet, or if there are times where I'm hard to understand, let me know. And also give me a timestamp. If you don't know how to give a YouTube timestamp, you just put it like a digital clock. You just put in a number, a colon, and then the seconds. So the minutes and the seconds. And in some cases, up to the hours in the event that it's a really long video. Oh. I could already tell I wasn't going to get that. Let's do some running. We'll even go a little further just to get a little bit of running in. Fall down completely, yep. But couldn't get the headshot. So in that one right there, I had to fight past the head. I'm going to do it again. Oh, I did it again, okay. So I actually had to fight past the head because of the aim assist to get the crosshair ahead of the head, so then the zombie would then run into my crosshair and I could align the shot. But yeah, we can get to parts here real quick.
Yeah, now this feels like
anyways, so yeah, let me know if there's if the audio, if you can't hear it or anything. My goal is to make it sound a little more organic, so that basically I can have a higher volume if I raise my voice. And then I can also have a lower volume if I don't raise my voice. The way I have it before, it boosts my voice, it boosts my lower volume, and it crushes my upper volume, which is fine because it makes me perfectly clear, but it doesn't give me any dynamic. So I'm trying to still do that. It's called compression. I'm still compressing my audio, but I'm trying to compress it a little less so that I can sound a little more dynamic, but yeah, just let me know. Oh man, we got 2 in 1, very nice. So, today's discussion. State of Decay 1 versus State of Decay 2. Which one do I think is better. What's interesting is that there are certain mechanics I like from State of Decay 1 better, and then there's certain mechanics that I like from State of Decay 2 better. For example, I prefer the melee combat of State of Decay 1, but I prefer the gunplay of State of Decay 2. And where'd all these guys come from? They must have spawned in. I mean, I guess they could have wandered in, but... Oh, that zombie screamed. Let's just... We don't have to go in the right direction towards them. We can go to the looting location in the opposite direction as well. Just hop over this fence. If they want to congregate over there, fine. They can congregate over there. But yeah, so I like the melee combat system in State of Decay 1 better. Why? I feel it's more strategic. There's things... It's basically... So State of Decay 1, I would say, is a more hardcore game. Not necessarily a harder game, because hard in terms of difficulty, and then hard in terms of hardcore, they don't have to be the same thing. But State of Decay 1 is definitely more hardcore. Here's some examples. Your stamina recovers a lot slower in State of Decay 1. And when you consume stamina items, the snacks, for example, they don't completely fill your stamina up immediately. They just give you, like, stamina regeneration.
Could be worse. Could be better, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh, God. Okay, got it on him. Okay. But yeah, so stamina regenerates a lot slower in State of Decay 1. And the stamina regen items, like the snacks, they're basically like really, really short stimulants or energy drinks. They don't restore your stamina back to full. So that's an example of like how it's a more hardcore game. But in terms of melee combat, there's a lot of things that State of Decay 2 lets you get away with that you can't necessarily get away with or get away with as easily in State of Decay 1. One example is, if you're in the middle, like, so if you're swinging your melee weapon like this, then in most cases, a zombie cannot grapple with you. They can grapple with you from behind and some of the angles from behind, but most of the time, they can... basically, they're going to get canceled out by them grabbing you. Let's see if I can get this guy to cooperate. I'll get him to... see if he'll try and bite me. So you see how his attack would have landed... It would have hit me first. But because I was in my attack animation, the zombie's grab gets canceled. It's actually a little bit like a fighting game. That's typically how it works in a fighting game, is you can't grab somebody if they are far enough through their attack animation. Typically, in a fighting game, if somebody grabs you and you're just beginning your attack animation, then the grab goes through. But, wait, this is the one I already... Okay. It's because they didn't mark this one searched, which is annoying. More of these, please. But basically, because the combat is more hardcore, one, you have to pay more attention to it. Because the game doesn't let you get away with sloppy melee attacks. Like, you can't just... Okay, the music changed for a moment. I thought I might have attracted a horde. So you can't be as sloppy with your melee attacks. Like, you do actually have to pay a lot more attention. And I do like that. I like being a little more engaged in the game. Another example is your stamina. Like I said, your stamina comes back a lot slower. So you either, A, need to prep for that and bring more stamina restoration items, or you need to pace yourself. Come on. Where's my... Oh, I bet it's outside of the building, actually. In my rucksack. Here, this is probably going to have it. But you need to pace yourself, and you need to pay more attention to when you're using your attacks. You can't just, like, button mash and cancel a lot of the zombies' attacks out. That's especially true for the slower weapons as well, such as the... What do you call it? Like the heavy weapon specialization? If you're not careful with heavy weapons, and you're not going to, like, definitely cleave through your enemies before they hit you, then yeah, you're just going to take a lot of extra damage, despite heavy weapons being a pretty good specialization. And it becomes more complicated. The more enemies that you're fighting, the more of an issue it becomes. And you need to see, like, you know, who's attacking in front of you, who's attacking behind you. The dodging is also less powerful in State of Decay 1. When you do in State of Decay 2, when you do directional dodging, you're basically completely immune to zombies. I think only the Juggernaut might be able to hit you through a directional dodge. But for the most part, directional dodging just... As long as you have the stamina to spam dodge, you know, you just can't be hit. Whereas in State of Decay 1, directional dodge can get you out of trouble, but there's a little more delay to it. It takes you longer to recover from the dodge. So the zombies have more of an opportunity to actually catch you out of it and grab on and do some damage, which once again makes the combat system more interactive, more engaging. You have to pay more attention to it, and it also creates a more distinctive difference from the characters who choose a weapon specialization in melee combat versus the characters who choose a weapon specialization in guns. And I think that's really important in a game that has, like, various strategic choices. You want those choices to feel impactful. Ah, I missed him. Gotcha that time. Lifted his head up to roar. He lifts it for his last time. Well, until more of them just get spawned in.
Maybe we're not gonna die after all.
These guys must have just spawned in, because I don't remember them being there. Let's go ahead and get some more materials. We know where to get some. Right here.
Can we talk here?
Anyways, though, that's a pretty long description of why State of Decay 1 is generally more hardcore. The combat is harder, and the game is a little less forgiving. Not necessarily that the enemies do more damage, or that there's, like... There is also more zombies in State of Decay 1, just the quantity of zombies is higher. But those are some of the things that I like about State of Decay 1. However, there are things I like about State of Decay 2. One example are the really annoying busy missions in State of Decay 1. In SOD1, you've got, like, these, like, oh, this guy is sad, go take him out for a walk. Those get really annoying to do. Or, like, this one guy's like, I'm not very good at fighting. Won't you come out and, like, show me how? I don't want to. It's like, ugh. Those missions are super, super repetitive, and they're super annoying. And you could say, aren't the enclaves similar to that in State of Decay 2? No, because there are more permanent or long-term solutions to them. One, if a community is driving you nuts in State of Decay 2, you can just kill them. Unless, unfortunately, they're one of the community... Oh, I see it now. I can't drive through that. Unless they're one of the, like, special communities who can't be threatened. Oh, there's some grumpy neighbors. But yeah, unless they're one of the enclaves that can't be threatened, yeah, you can just threaten them. And even if you can't threaten them, you could use the zombie just to get them killed. Like, use zombie to attract, especially something like ferals and juggernauts over to kill them, and use the bloater grenades to, like, incapacitate them so the zombies can get some free hits on them. Those are all examples of ways that you can deal with them permanently, because once they're dead, they're dead.
They're just a blind leading the blind out there. Lucky for you, you got old Twain here to teach you some braille. Keep the faith, brothers and sisters.
These network fucks are like the geeks I hassled in high school.
Oh, Mackie. Is this going to happen? Like, is this where the rucksacks are going to be?
Yeah, I bet
Yep, that's where they're going to be. I figured they'd be in a more impressive-looking storage unit. Like, just something a little bigger, but it doesn't matter. We got him, and that's what's important. Gimme. So that's one thing I like a lot about State of Decay 2. They cut out a lot of the really annoying missions. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And while there are still annoying missions, there's no doubt about that, I can just kill them. In fact, if I don't do them, they typically become hostile. They either A, leave completely, and they're just like, oh my god, you never helped me. And then they leave. Or they become a hostile, and then I can kill them. These guys here. I wonder, okay, like, I was wondering if they became angry because I didn't help them. But no, they just look like they were just grumpy by default. So that's one thing I like about State of Decay 2. Another thing I like about State of Decay 2, I really like this, is the economy. The economy in State of Decay 2 is way, way better than State of Decay 1. The idea that you can set up allies and you can kind of like trade with them, you can buy things that you don't have from them and sell things you don't need. I really like that idea. And it's really, it's kind of there in State of Decay 1. There are some things like the Grange, for example, they would make coffee and you could like spend your influence to get coffee. But in State of Decay 2, it is far more realized, to the point that you have an entire leader that's focused on trading, and a whole boon that's focused on trading. And I think that was a really good idea. Like, that was something that was a improvement. And it's not that it wasn't... It's not that it's bad in State of Decay 1, it's that they just expanded upon it. Whereas... the annoying repetitive missions, I do think those are bad in State of Decay 1, and I do think it was an improvement to trim them out. Another thing I like about State of Decay 2 is that they went further with the facilities. They differentiated large and small facilities. They didn't box you into building a watchtower if you didn't want to. For example, in State of Decay 1, there's always a specific slot that is just the designated watchtower slot, whereas in State of Decay 2, it's just any small outdoor slot, or in the case of the sniper tower, a large slot. But you don't have to have one. Nothing's forcing you to build a watchtower. And I mean, I guess you could say nothing's forcing you to build a watchtower in State of Decay 1. But I mean, what else are you going to do with that slot? The Watchtower slot in State of Decay 1 is exclusive to the Watchtower. You can't put anything else in it. So if you don't build the Watchtower in it, then you're just not building you're not building anything in it. That's just the way it works. Darn. Come on, auto-aim. Or whatever it's called, like aim assist. Oh, time to run away. Hey, time to see how our barrow styles do against these guys. If they can find their way inside. There we go. Juggernauts, they have a lot of trouble with terrain, so... Who's pounding? You can see his belly jiggle as he's getting shot. Yeah, get him. Combine your ammo on him. Look at all these. Ah! Where did he come from? With the stealth jug, he's like coming out of nowhere with the it's like you got ambushed by like a rhinoceros or something. Definitely not as fast, but at the same time, there are times where, I mean, it needs more tests. Like one is not enough. One test is not sufficient. Cure Arc Plague level. Also, I wish we could have a higher threat level. Oh, I could build a regular watchtower. That's true. Regular watchtower wouldn't have the same potency. Swap this out for one of our fresh ones. Give me more of this. Probably gotta grab an espresso since he's probably gonna get tired at any moment. Go ahead and use one of our many first aid kits. Oh yeah, we can put our stuff in as well. We need to focus on doing a lot of running, too. Like, everywhere we go, we need to run, run, run. There we go, there we go. And we have the advanced fuel storage, so that's fine as well. So everything's looking pretty good now. Can I call in the food trader? In 1 minute I can, so nearly.
Keep cool.
Hey, looking for something to do. I guess I'll help this guy, because... Oh, wait, I gotta refuel.
Thanks.
Refuel. Another idea I like about State of Decay 2 is that I mean, there's a lot of things in State of Decay 2 that are just logically more detailed. Like, they made the cars more detailed. I think they need to go farther than it. I think a really good idea for cars would be to make cars a sort of modular, kind of like facilities. You know how, like, facilities, you can plug a mod into these things here? If vehicles were more like that, where you could just plug in the effect you want, and maybe they have like 3 plugins, and so you can choose more armor, more cargo capacity, more fuel, and so that you can basically make the vehicles more the way you want them, and then there would be a lot of value to having different kinds of vehicles. So yeah, you could have like an emergency vehicle for dispatch, you could have like a dedicated cargo vehicle that you don't really drive around, it's just got the maximum storage. You could have a the vehicle you use to clear out infestations. Like, it might be something that you build up its armor so that you can just run over zombies where necessary. Maybe there's one that makes the vehicle more stealthy. Like, there's like a stealth thing. The Unchosen one. Okay, that must be these guys over here. Oh, who are the Unchosen ones?
See you around, I guess.
Okay, that's the strangers. Where are the Unchosen ones? I don't see them anywhere.
Yeah, okay, I hear you. Have a good one.
Oh yeah, we were gonna buy another thing. Let's go... We kill a plague art. Well, let's go destroy this real quick. Looking for things to do. So, basically, the ideas from State of Decay 1 that I want to see make it into State of Decay 2. I already talked before that I want to see heavy weapons come back. Definitely. I would like to see the melee combat. I like the idea of having, like, really good, powerful options in melee combat, but I feel like it could be a little more skill-based. Like, they could be a little less generous with just letting you get away with swinging wildly. Ah, here they are. That must be the Unchosen ones. Yeah. Okay, so now we have multiple hostiles. That'll be good in case I want to troll some hostiles. You never know. Really, this home base is infested.
That shut you the fuck up! Can't do it.
Okay, so they did hear it. 1, 2,
I hate to ask, but we
3,
need an exterminator.
4, 5. And we'll just pick this guy up because I feel like it. Oh wait, there's this... Oh, I missed him. Oh well, he can live. You know, I'm thinking you've got a slightly bigger problem than ferals. Just saying. Just saying. To get back on. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to earn a little bit more influence. so that we can buy another Barrow-style bar. Another thing this is one thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see them compromise on characters. So one thing I like from State of Decay 1 is the characters. I like the consistent characters like Lily Ritter, Marcus. At the same time, though, I do like the idea of meeting little strangers and whatnot, kind of having your, like, random characters. I feel like they should compromise, and what they should do is let you create your own character, who's your character. He's supposed to represent you, and if your character dies, then maybe there's a certain condition that will allow you to make a new character once you've met the correct condition. And then maybe give you a partner, someone that you don't customize, who's kind of like your Lily Ritter, is someone who's always the same, and you don't get to choose them much in the same way that, you know, you can't choose like what people are for the most part. Like, you know, you can change your own personality, you can change things about yourself, but it's much harder to change things about other people. So I do like that aspect, but give yourself basically like this dynamic duo. And let me burn this thing first. It's like, one of the things is,
The heat, it's the humidity.
I actually don't know what happens if your community gets, like, because I don't think Lily can die in State of Decay 1. I think she's, like, completely invulnerable. And I don't know if that's a good idea in a theoretical State of Decay 3. I don't know if it's a good idea to have a... the Plague Art thing is blocking me from seeing what my influence level. Okay, so if we won't have enough influence to also call in the trade. Yeah, we need to call in our trader as well. Let's go do that. Call in the food trader. Medicine, stims.
Someone wants to trade with us. You in the mood to haggle?
Get some stuff that we can sell. We'll sell this.
I'm here with your food. You got what I want?
I don't know what you want, but if it's like a bunch of random, like, trashy things that I'm going to sell to you, sure. Then I got what you want. But basically, kind of like how they did it with Heartland, how you have like you have these consistent characters, but I don't think you need that many of them. You only need a handful. I think there should be some consistent communities that you deal with. Like, I think the Wilkersons were pretty cool as an example of a persistent community. And maybe you never really kill them so much as they withdraw. Like, if you get into a war with them, like, you can kill their goons, their nameless guys, but they themselves retreat. But, like, I'm not sure what kind of compromises they could make to do that, but I do think they need to have characters that you can, like, latch on to a little bit more. Because right now, all we have is Cash Beaumont. He's the only genuinely persistent character in State of Decay 2, and he doesn't even have a unique voice actor. Cash Beaumont should probably be in State of Decay 3, just because, like, come on, let's carry our persistent characters over. Like, let's have some kind of story building. But at the same time, like I said, I do agree that anonymity helps to add kind of like the faceless survivors in the apocalypse. So that's an idea from State of Decay 1 that I think should carry over. Another thing that here's something that I don't think was good enough in State of Decay 2. I don't think that their beating the game was good enough. Okay, we got a bunch of these guys coming in. Basically, the concept of the State of Decay 1 legacies, they're not very... I don't find them to be very satisfying. It's kind of like, oh, you beat the game. It's really not hard to beat the game. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's much of a journey. And especially once you get the hang of the game, because at least in State of Decay 1, even if you get the hang of the game, there's still, like, limitations. It still feels like a journey because there is a pacing to which you can complete the missions. But in State of Decay 2, it's not that hard to kill all the Plague Arts. Let's go ahead and buy what we want from him.
Dealing?
Sure.
No, he's not selling it to us this time, so he doesn't always sell it. We have to call it in multiple times, but this is that's sufficient. like 0.2 food less effective. But we'll have to keep calling him in and keep buying stuff from him in order to get what we're looking for.
This load's gonna wear me out.
While he's reloading that, we will install the bag of fertilizer. So either way, he's gonna sell one of the things you need. Like it's sufficient for us to get the food production going.
We have an offer to make if you've got time to come hear it.
I'm not giving him the bullets though. Give me those back. So let's load up on some stuff. Let's put the ammo, because ammo is easy to take back out.
About some quiet. Zeds may be dead, but they can still hear us.
That shit's gonna slow me down.
There we go. Make sure we're running, even though it's not much of a trip.
Ready to start dealing?
Every little bit of money makes a difference. He's got about a little less than 300 influence left, so what else can I sell to him? Oh, the gun. Derp. I wonder what he'll give me for the gun, because I didn't look.
Let me make you an offer.
Wow. 24. It's a pretty average gun, so I guess. Look, see, even the little tiny running is making a difference. Let's make sure all of our things are active. I want this active so that we make the alcohol faster. Anything else I can sell to him? I could probably sell him a book or two of these books that we don't really need. One of each. Books are worth, I think, like 100 influence or so.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, 85, so close to 100. Okay, we can sell one more book to him. We'll sell one of our many... Whoa. Put two of these back. Push the wrong button.
Hey people, Zeds are gathering, so it's time to head home.
Oh,
and fight them
perfect.
off.
Now we can see how it goes. It's going to be a big siege. It should be good. It's a large siege. And that means I should probably get my ammo out and my BFG out. Let's also switch to this gun because I need to shoot faster, not more accurately.
That screaming means we're under attack.
I don't remember if I have gunslinging, so if I don't have gunslinging, then it's going to be a pain to reload.
Just saw Farrell.
Okay. Now here's the question. Can they kill the Pharaoh? That's the question. No, leave me alone. No, he's gonna rip me. Come on, kill that Pharaoh. Show him this is a good idea. Kill that Pharaoh. Ah! How consistent will it work, though? Here's the food trader.
Have a bloater inside.
Yes, you all have like guns, and you're like running into melee combat with them. Oh no, not more of them. Look at it, he's like shoving them like he's like a schoolyard bully when he's got a gun. Let me clear the toxic gas.
That won't work.
We got Zeds inside.
Darn, I was hoping the effect ended. Interesting that not a single... Oh, never mind. I was wondering if a Juggernaut would show up. Where is he? Mark the Juggernaut. Where is he?
Scare him off or something?
Oh. Oh. Very good. Very good.
If you run out of bullets, fucking fight him back.
Oh, I thought that was one of my guys. Oh, so here's one of their weaknesses. They can't kill him without the BFG. Well, I mean, they could stab him. Like, they're just like beating this guy to death. All this effort to kill one armored zombie. Oh, now they open the door. He's right there! Oh, they got him. Very good. This might be a working strategy. And you know, you don't need advanced suppressors because their weapons are immune.
Again.
Their weapons are... They don't lose weapon durability for shooting. But, I don't know. I am... Dare I say encouraged? I believe that's the term I'll use. I am encouraged by what I saw. Oh, wait. I can get to the top just by resetting. It's going to the bottom that's the problem. Or to the middle once you have too many items. Okay. Let me see what... Wow. Like, that leveled up so fast. Hi, why is it... It's like, is it... This is Nightmare Zone. It's crazy how fast it's leveling up. Okay, so everything is synced up. Well, so we're gonna wait for this to wear off so that we can just keep all of these together. Let's see how much food we're producing. +3, we are gaining 3.5. Not bad. Wait, I didn't want to do that. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Oh, so... I'll answer a question real quick. Someone was asking, how do you get to the maximum morale? Some of it is, like, you see that right there, completed leader projects. That's a big part of, like, getting, like, giant morale. Another one is, this might top you off. Killing a plague art gives you +20 per person in your community, so the more people you have, the more people are happy with a plague art. Also, satisfying everyone's desires, like, likes the workshop, likes the watchtower. Defeating the blood plague, that's another one there. Privileges of rank come from this, so this gives you +10 morale each. This gives me +10 morale each. This thing here is going to give me +10 morale each. That's +30 morale, and it's each person, so the more people we have, the more morale benefits we get. But basically, if you stack enough of those up together, then it helps. Another thing is, like, let's look for our negatives. Where are our morale penalties at? So, people like Ladislaw, maybe you'd want to get rid of somebody like him. His is only -3, that's not too big of a deal. But then you've got, like, Teeming Nightmare Hordes. That's something that's just an effect of playing on Nightmare. If you want to get the maximum morale achievement, don't play on Nightmare. Another thing is, every building that has, like, kind of a weird slot, just put one of these, if you have it, put a comfy chair inside. Like, for example... This one isn't being used at all because I don't need any of these. Like, I don't need to plug any of these in there. So a comfy chair would do another +3 morale per everyone, or at least I would presume that's how it works. So all of those, like if you don't have a fireworks crafting station, just plug in another comfy chair. And, like, it all adds up over time. That's basically how you do it. So it looks like night is quickly falling upon us. Do I want to call anybody in? Okay. Who's Gardu? Who the fuck is that? Oh god, don't demonetize me. That just slipped out. I'm allowed to swear once in a while. They will demonetize me for once in a while.
Sure thing.
Oh. What do you want me to do for you? Chemicals. Oh, you need chemicals?
I'm glad to see it.
Okay, we actually have a ton of chemicals.
We're doing great.
Where are the chemicals? Chemicals.
Shit's gonna slow me down.
So you don't want these 90, you don't want these 99 chemicals? Oh my god, we have to go get regular chemicals. I don't want special chemicals. Like, I want the ones that are specifically from the hardware store. What hardware store? This one over here. Picky. 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 Fuel is workable. There's another Juggernaut. Yeah, let's lure the Juggernaut in.
Undead, on the approach.
Oh, really? You see them, do you? I mean, it's only this... Oh, she's gonna get...
Zombies on all sides, coming in.
Yeah, I guess she had iframes for that. Come on in. Let's see how our guys do again. Can you get through all these obstacles? Ugh. Oh, good. I didn't get plagued by it. That's good. Hey, boys, wake up. Dude, that's why we need a. Look at that. They're lighting him up. I guess it's not quite as good as the BFG, just because like they can light him up through his. What's the word? It is his stagger. Yeah, shoot him. There we go. No! No! I wanted credit for it. I was gonna do the hard work. Ugh. Shoot him. Shoot him. Okay. There we go. I did all the hard work. I get the credit. Give me that 100 influence. No one has blood plague.
Hey there.
Convenient. Character's tired, and we can't give him any more espresso, so that's the end of this guy for now. I guess I'll leave him on this gear, because I'm going to be using him again anyway, so... Who are we going to play as in the meantime? I think everyone else is leveled up to the max. Plays one of our characters with driving, just so that we can save a little bit of... Can't even think of it now. We need to... Okay, in order to quickly find our guard duty weapons... We need to use an old tactic that I stopped using, and that is to store your guard duty weapons in a car so that you don't have to scroll through all of your inventory to find it. I also want to make a few more medkits, I think. That'll allow us to put this inside. And how close is he to... He's 2 stars off of maxing out his surgery. I can't remember what we have in our storage vehicle, so let's check that. So, let me think. What do I not want to see in State of Decay 3? That's a good question there. So what things in State of Decay 1 and 2, or if it was removed in State of Decay 2, what would I not want to see? One thing I don't want to see is tethering. Tethering is obviously done due to the limitations of the technology. I suppose that's the way I'll describe it. But tethering stinks. Like, nobody likes tethering. So that's one thing I definitely think needs to go.
I need to stay away from plague zombies before I really get sick.
Let me pick my inventory real quick. No, not the preppers. There we go. Another thing I don't want to see from State of Decay 2. Let me think. There we go. I don't want to see another DLC like Daybreak. Like, I don't mind them adding a DLC in that adds a new game mode and has stuff, but or perhaps to be more specific, I don't want to see any more super grinds. Like, some of the grinds in this game, they are not enjoyable enough for... They're just not enjoyable at all. The grind in State of Decay Daybreak, it stinks. Oh my god. Like, when you gotta, like, unlock all of those items, like, I took a break from State of Decay after I did that video just because the burnout from unlocking all of the stuff was really, really bad. And then after you do unlock everything, you don't even get much of a bonus for continuing to play. You would think that now that you've unlocked everything, they'd be really generous with the prestige points. They're not. And then with the clothing is such a grind. I want to see, like, just... It's okay for there to be a grind, because grinding helps you feel like you're working towards something. But oh my god, like, you need to tune down the grind. Like, it's just way too much grind just for the sake of padding out time, spacing out time. Too much grind for the sake of grind. That's something that they need to cut out. Like, I just don't enjoy that at all. Another thing I would like to see different, I don't like the idea of the legacies. I don't think let me rephrase. They need to not add in things like amenities. Amenities is just so powerful that you have to make a really conscious choice not to use it. Like, you basically have to say, I don't want to play with these OP effects. And for me, someone like me, I typically just play with what... If it's available and it's not an exploit or a glitch, I use it, because that's just my personality. And so I would have preferred if it wasn't even an option to begin with, because then I don't feel like I'm playing, like, drastically suboptimally. Because it's just, that's one of the components of optimization that quickly gets on my nerves. Looking for the Screamer. I think that's him right there. Nope, it wasn't.
Kill it.
Oh my gosh. But the point is that I didn't feel like the legacies were very impactful in the game. Like, I don't even think they're needed for the most part. Like, in fact, I don't even know if you necessarily need a way to beat the game. Like, how important is it to, like, basically the whole point, this game is kind of like Minecraft in the sense that you just kind of play it. I mean, I guess technically if you beat the Ender Dragon, you get something akin to an ending. But I don't think State of Decay needs an ending in order to be enjoyable. Like, I think the main point of State of Decay is just kind of go in, play the game until you're bored of it, and then leave until an update comes out, and then suddenly, you know, you're interested. Or, you know, if you haven't played in a while and you're like, you know what?
We should find what we're looking for here.
Where's the... Okay, he must be right around the corner. No, you don't. Damn, I thought I'd get him. Okay, so I guess we can anticipate trouble coming in, and according to the radar, because I got the scouting, I can see where the trouble's coming from. You know what it kind of reminds me of is Aliens, the sequel. They had that, like, tracker that would show you, like, the approach of the various xenomorphs. That's kind of what scouting reminds me of. But unfortunately, it lured an entire plague horde in. Which is a pain. Fortunately, it wasn't a juggernaut. It wasn't like a juggernaut plague horde. Ah, her head blocked the shot. I don't even know why I'm doing this quest. I'm just doing it to do it. Like, we don't even need this stuff. I mean, I guess we'll get a little bit of biochems, but it's really not that big of a deal. So that's something I wouldn't want to see in State of Decay 3. What else wouldn't I want to see? One thing I think that needs to be improved is I guess I don't want to see
But let's not. Hey, I found
this version of the Blood Plague return. This version of the Blood Plague, it's just not very impactful.
I owe you one.
The only reason the Blood Plague causes any problem in the
Hope
game
it's enough to show my
is in
face.
Nightmare Zone. And that's because, oh my god, if you get plagued, you've got 10 minutes to live. So only by reducing the kill count from like 3 hours to 10 minutes
nothing of
does the Blood Plague make an impact. And in return, what we lost from State of Decay 1 was just the general disease mechanic, which, like, the disease mechanic is a lot more nerve-wracking, since you don't know if you're going to... You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know... You can prepare for sickness, but sometimes your character just can't recover, and it's just
Let's go.
it makes you a lot more worried about getting hit by bloaters. It doesn't happen so commonly where you're like, oh, this is like super cheap and whatnot. It's very rare for a character to not completely recover, but it always adds that possibility. It basically means that, like me, I have no respect for bloaters for the most part. I have enough healing items that if I run a bloater over, who cares? I can just tank through the damage and drive, and then I can just pop a strong painkiller and heal myself. Like, that's... I'm not saying that you shouldn't have powerful enough items to do stuff like that, but there should always be a little bit of fear in the back of your mind that, oh man, you know, this cough I just got, it's nothing, right? It's no big deal. Like, there should always be a little bit of a worry that maybe that little cough you got is a big deal. Okay, so we're not going to deal with this infestation since the Juggernaut caught on to us. You know, maybe we'll just end the episode here. Oh, whoa. I looked at my stream for a moment and didn't realize that I was about to hit a rock. I think what we're going to do is we'll just head back to base. I'll clean up some of the freak zombies around to clean up the base a little bit, and then we'll just end it there, because I feel like we've done what we need to do. And I've talked basically about the idea of State of Decay 1, some of the mechanics I preferred over State of Decay 1 versus some of the mechanics I preferred in State of Decay 2, and what mechanics I thought should have made it in and what mechanics should be dropped. But overall, I like Nightmare Zone a lot. I do think it was a really good idea. And so that's one of the things I do prefer in State of Decay 2 over 1, and that's why I would say there is a reason to play them both. That's one thing I will say. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that there is something good about State of Decay 1 and 2. There's a reason to play them both. Because I could see, suppose I stopped playing State of Decay 2 for a while. Like, let's say Undead Labs, they're done. No more updates for State of Decay 2. They're done with it. And let's say a year goes by, no updates. Well, that means you're going to run out of content. That means, yeah, I'm not going to make any more State of Decay 2 content because there's just nothing left to do. That doesn't mean that a year later, maybe on the anniversary of State of Decay 2, we could do something like boot up Nightmare Zone once a year. The same thing goes for State of Decay 1. Some people were disappointed that I wasn't going to continue State of Decay 1. Oh, looks like there's multiples of them. Okay, we're going to need the pyro launcher to clear these guys out. I thought we would just be able to go in and shoot them.
Eternal, asshole.
But they are definitely congregating together. And on top of that, I have the BFG instead of the pyro launcher. Let's go ahead and remedy that real quick. But, you know, I might make it a tradition. Like, if the State of Decay content runs completely dry and I just move on to another game completely, I might come back for old time's sake, just to kind of remember the past. Like, this was kind of what got the channel going. I mean, like, I am certain that there will be another game that eventually will blow the channel up even farther than this. Like, it's just statistically going to happen. But, you know, at the same time, I do want to remember history. So, even if State of Decay falls by the wayside, you know, I could easily come back periodic. Like I said, once a year I'd come back and kind of revisit the past, like what potentially made the channel great. At the same time, the channel might not go any further. I feel like I've developed enough of a work ethic to slowly grind onwards. But I think that would be a cool tradition. Oh. That's what I mean by we could just kind of leave patches of fire for them to have to run through. I could put one right there so that they have to run through it to get through the...
Take that, you barrel fuck.
You see, it creates like this barrier that they have trouble getting through. And that's only like one ammo. I'm only shooting one round at a time. And of course my allies want to stand in the fire.
Say this a lot, but yeah, this is pretty.
These little discussions are also really good practice. One of the things that's really important as a... I mean, this is basically the equivalent of streaming. I am playing this live, for example. It's being able to kind of like hold a conversation while you're playing. I mean, like, even the best streamers need to concentrate. Like, there's no doubt about that. Oh, wow, look at that. He's phasing through the wall while on fire. That's a new skill. Phasing through the wall while on fire. Let's check one last look through our base. Need to activate anything? No. Yep, we need to activate both of these. That looks like that's that. Yeah, it's good practice for me as well, like just talking about things, trying to multitask. It's mainly because I've played enough Nightmare Zone that unless something like really requires my attention, I do have room to just kind of talk casually, just due to acclimation to the game. That's something that just literally comes with hours spent. You spend enough hours, as well as talking enough. You spend enough time talking. Like, if I compare these episodes to like when I first began, I had to concentrate so much more in like the first episode of Nightmare Zone that there was so less time for me to talk. And I was like dedicating the majority of my brain power. Like, you'll see that when I play other games. Like when I play like I mean, I understand Oxygen Not Included a little bit better, but when I play other games, you'll see that I talk a lot less just because I do have to concentrate a lot more. But once I have a firmer understanding and I can kind of go on autopilot, yeah, I mean, that's just one of the benefits of playing something extensively enough. But that is that. We talked about things I liked about State of Decay 1, as well as things that I like about State of Decay 2. Like, didn't want to leave SOD2 out to dry. When is this going to pop back up? Well, we can check our food production. We're getting 6.5 food a day, minus 1, so 5.5 because we do have to spend 1 on boost yields. But overall, pretty good. I mean, the additional food can also be thrown in here. Our high morale allows us to build these very quickly. You see that facility action speed plus 200%, so this can be done way quicker. Plus we have this over here. Meta-analysis, 25% global action speed, or yeah, no, 50%, another 50% action speed, so this is really good for strengthening the speed at which you can build these things, so this is a pretty good setup for just passively generating influence. Obviously, this is not as fast as killing Plague Hearts, but you don't always want a hot map. Some people just want to settle to a single location. This is what you would do to maintain your influence just over time. A very good way to just maximize what you can get out of your existing resources. This is the same stuff that I talked about in the How to Farm Influence guide. But let me know down in the comment section, what do you want to see in both? What do you want to see in SOD1 and SOD2 make it into State of Decay 3? What do you want to not transfer over? Like, what ideas? Like, nah, not a big fan of this idea. Don't want to see it make it into State of Decay 3. Because really, every time you make a game, it's an opportunity to, or every time you do multiple things, you're like, okay, so this is what was lost in the sequel that we shouldn't have cut it out. And these are new ideas that we thought would be good. Like, I think Blood Plague wasn't as good of an idea as it could have been. I don't think that means Blood Plague should go away, but it needs to be... They need to go back to the drawing board and think, how can Blood Plague be more interactive than, oh, we're poison zombies? That's basically what Blood Plague zombies are. We're poison zombies. How can Blood Plague be more interesting? And I think the idea of potentially making the Blood Plague this terraforming agent... Oh, they don't have a description. Interesting. Like, where it's like taking over the map, it's like changing the ecosystem. I think that idea from Heartland has potential. But at any rate, let me know what you think down in the comments section. That's the end of this episode. Like this video if it's entertaining. Subscribe for future State of Decay 2 content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.